Hey guys, welcome back. This is the video most of you have been waiting for. I let my nails go a good like 3 weeks just so you guys would really be able to see the growth and if I had any lifting. And as you could see, my ring finger was really the worst of the lifting that I had. So I'd like to go in with this cuticle ball bit. I will leave everything I'm using linked down below. And I do my e-file at a really low speed. You need to make sure you get that lifting up before you go ahead and do your fill-in with your builder gel or even your acrylic or your clear dip. Just because if you don't get all of that lifting up when you go to put your primer or your dehydrator or even your base, there's going to get moisture trapped underneath that lifting and you're going to get what is called a greenie, which is a fungus that grows when moisture gets trapped in between an enhancement or your natural nail, and you don't want that. Mainly just because it doesn't look very attractive. But if you do somehow get a greenie, you can get them with dip powder, you can get it with acrylic, you can get it with gel. Like I said, just if any moisture gets in there, just so that you do know, in case you weren't aware, as soon as you soak off and that greenie hits air, that bacteria automatically stops growing. So I just wanted to let you guys know that little bit of information. So all I did was I went around the lifted area with the cuticle ball bit, and as you can see, that lifting is now pretty much gone. I'm just going to go ahead now and smooth it out so I don't have any uneven bumps or anything. Obviously it's going to be a little bit uneven because I had to take that lifting away, but I'm going to fill that in with gel when I get around to that part. Now I'm going to just go around with my cuticle bit, and this is going to remove any excess dead cuticle that I have, you know, where that growth was. And I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of my nails since this is a little bit of a longer video. I did show doing some things just on one nail, like the lifting on this nail was the worst out of all of them, so that is the only one I'm going to show on camera. Now I'm going to go around and just remove really quickly any excess cuticle around my nail. This will also show you sometimes if you have any lifting. Sometimes putting a drill bit to it is going to show you whether you have lifting. So any lifting that I do have, I will just get that up really quick. So I'm going to let you guys watch and I will be right back for the next step. Alright, so now that my cuticle prep is done, I'm just going to dust off really quick. I don't really know why I dusted off, because I'm going to grab my 180 grit nail file and I'm just going to use this to not only rough up the surface of my nail, because I'm going to be working with gel, which if you've been with me for a while, you've heard me say 1,000,000+1 times, gel sticks better to a rougher surface. I'm also going to use this to kind of debulk where my apex was before, just so that I can do a nice rebalance and build my new apex up. The longer you do your nails, the more you want to make sure you have an apex. An apex is going to add strength to what is called your weak areas on your nails. So you want to make sure you do that I honestly don't have to build up too much of an apex, because over the course of the couple years I've been doing my own nails and they've grown out and have gotten healthy again, I realized I've actually got quite a C curve to them, which if you've been following me since like day one of YouTube, you've heard me always say my nails were flat. They're not. So you want to make sure you have an apex if your nails are long. So now I'm going to go in with my prep. You can make your own prep. You can do a mix of pure acetone and rubbing alcohol. Just make sure if you make your own, you're not using any acetone like the blue onyx that has the coconut oil mixed in. The prep you can be pretty generous with. It doesn't matter if it gets on your skin. But here I'm going in with a primer. This is Protein Bond by Young Nails. You want to make sure that this you're only getting on your nails. You don't want to get it on your skin. If you do, it's not really a big deal, but you want to try not to. So if you are just doing a fill-in, you can go ahead and apply your primer to just your new growth where you're going to add that gel. But I got some requests to try out these gold nail forms to show you guys. I'm only laughing because I got these forms in a kit a couple months back when I wanted to play around with actual acrylic. I don't like them. You can pretty much get these anywhere. If you buy like a Kiss acrylic kit from Walmart or Walgreens or whatever, you're gonna get these forms with it. They do work, they will get the job done. I prefer a butterfly form. To be honest, my favorite forms are from Triple D, so I will leave a link for Triple D's forms down below, as well as these if you want a cheaper alternative. But I think that application wise, spend a little bit more and get a better quality form. Another thing I don't like about these forms is all of the lines on here are all the same boldness, and I really wish that the center line was bolder than the other ones, because it kind of makes it a little bit confusing when you're trying to line up the center of your nail with the center of that line. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any experience with nail forms, that will make sense to you. So I got my nail form on pretty well. I'm gonna go through and explain how I did it on this one. So I'm taking the sticker off. I like to place it on the back, especially on these nail forms, just because to me they're a little bit thinner. I like to give it a little shake just to develop a little bit more of a curve. And for these forms, I am going to close them before I apply it, just because they pop open so easily, and I'm trying my hardest on my pinky. This is my problem finger because my pinky is crooked. So I'm gonna draw an invisible line down my finger and try to line it up with that gold line in the center the best I can. And if you have any fingers that are crooked or you are new to doing nail forms, try to draw an invisible line down your whole entire finger and match that up with the gold line in the center that you're following. That is going to make sure that your nail extension is nice and perfectly straight. If you have an issue with these popping open, which I did here and there, you can take that sticker and actually fold it around where the two sides connect at the bottom, just to try and keep it, you know, held shut a little bit better. So I'm gonna let you guys watch. I'm gonna get these nail forms on, and I'll be right back for the next step. Alright, so nail forms are on. Here's what I love about Builder Gel. As you can see, as I've said, I already have Builder Gel on. I can still build an extension without having to soak these completely off. And this has come in handy for me multiple times because gel is a lot softer, it files a lot easier, and I've had a couple times where I've gone super file happy, as I like to call it, and I'll have one side be a little bit uneven than the other. I'm able to just really quickly pop a form on and add some gel to just do little repairs here and there. So you can use this to fix the nail. If you have a corner that's chipped off, you could absolutely just do a little bit of Builder Gel on that area and then file it smooth to meet your natural nail. I think that if you are willing to and you have a lamp, I think it's a great idea to just do a thin layer of Builder Gel over your natural nails regardless. I know a lot of you who dip like to do a layer of clear and then you do your dip powder, and instead of soaking off or using peel base, you file down to that clear coat. I think Builder Gel is a much better layer of protection. So I talked through what I just did, but all I did was applied a real thin layer of gel base, and then I cured that for 30 seconds. And now I've just grabbed a bead of my Builder Gel. I placed it at the very tip of my nail and I'm just dragging it down. I'm bringing it up, I think, to about the first or the second line. That's another reason I'm not a big fan of these forms. I love the Triple D forms, the butterfly type of forms where they actually have numbers on there for you. I like having the number. I don't know, I'm weird. So I'm just going to build up my nail pretty much is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus at my tip and getting my extension where I want it to be. I like to do my extensions all the time, whether I'm doing nail tips with dip or Builder Gel or real acrylic. Can't find my words today. I like to do them a little bit longer just because for me, it gives me a little extra protection for when not really protection, but a little bit security, so that when I'm doing my filing and shaping, I have that little bit extra if I were to file a little bit too much. So now I'm going to just push a little bit of that Builder Gel down. This isn't exactly the fill-in part yet. I will leave a timestamp down below if you want to skip to when I start the fill-in. But I had a bunch of people want me to try out these forms, want me to do another little extensions video with the gel, so I decided to include that in my Builder Gel fill-in video for you guys. I'm going to include a little bit of my filing and shaping, but all I'm going to do right now is just kind of work this Builder Gel to where I want it. I want to make sure I get it really good at my sidewall areas. I've been going for more of a tapered square shape, but I like to, when I'm doing an extension, I like to do it more as a full square because I like to be able to really file it into shape because I'm new to doing the new shaping and I'm still fairly new to nail forms and building an extension, so I didn't want to try and get too bold and actually put this gel in the shape that I wanted it to be. So I'm going to flip my finger upside down and let that really self-level and even out. And then I'm going to flash cure that for 15 seconds. You don't have to flash cure each nail, but I like to. So now I'm just going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to grab a little bead of Builder Gel. I'm going to place it on the free edge of my existing nail, and I'm just gonna go in circular motions just to get all of that gel off my brush, and then I'm gonna drag it to both sides of my sidewalls because, like I said, I like to form my extensions in more of a square shape and file them myself. To me, I think it's easier to do that. I think it's a little bit more challenging if you're trying to actually form the gel on the nail form into the shape that you want. and you can get any shape you want from doing a square nail. So that's the way that I like to do it. So now I'm just going to pull it back just a little bit, and then I will again start focusing on getting the extension built out the way that I want it, to the length that I want it. I do look at it from all angles, so after I have a little bit more on the form part, I will kind of turn my finger to the side just so that I can see if the gel is even, if the extension part is even with my nail that I already have. Like I said, you guys, I am not, like y'all know, I'm not a nail tech. I am new to the builder gel thing. I am kind of learning new tips and tricks each time I do a fill-in. So I'm trying to explain it to you guys the best that I can. So turn my finger to the side just so that you guys could see it was not completely even with the form, and it's not gonna be just because I already have builder gel on my nail to begin with. So it does take a little bit more to build up the extension. So I'm gonna let you guys watch, but while you guys are watching, I wanted to thank all of you guys for watching my last video, the one I did in memory of my husband for World Diabetes Day. I was overwhelmed, to say the least, with the sweet words you guys all said to me. A lot of you shared your own stories of how you either are diabetic or you have somebody in your family who has had it. I did not expect Saturday to be as amazing as it was, and to me it was just, I don't know if you guys follow a bunch of nail people on Instagram or not, but if you did, we really lit it up blue on Instagram and Facebook. It was really, really beautiful to see. I was in tears most of the day, but happy tears. It was just so nice to see everybody put their differences aside with how crazy the world has been, and to just come together and raise so much awareness and talk so much about something that's not talked about. And if you're in my Facebook group, then you saw me ask you guys a question last week on whether you guys would be up to a new series. So right here I'm just popping off my forms, and then I'm going to build up the gel, make sure that my tips are even, and then I will start my fill-in. But I mentioned to you guys last week in my Facebook group that after I did the voiceover for that video, it made me think about all of the other diseases and illnesses and conditions that just aren't talked about and that should be. And it gave me an idea to do a full, what I want to call a meaningful manis series here, where we raise awareness for things that are important to us and that have affected ourselves and families. And a bunch of you thought it was a really good idea. So if you are interested, I want you guys to send me stories, send me awareness colors if you know what they are. Give me a little bit of information that you have. I will look up information myself, and it will be a video just like the one I did for my husband's, where it's a chatty mani type of video. I will do the colors for the awareness and also give information that you guys give me and information I find online. I can include your name, it can be anonymous, whatever you want it to be. So I will leave my email down below if you're interested in sending in a story to raise awareness. So I am going to build up these tips here, get them nice and even with my existing nail. Like I said, I am flash curing everything in between. So now I'm going to go ahead and get to the fill-in part. I've just grabbed a bead and I'm just gonna fill in that cuticle area. My ring finger is gonna take a little bit more just because I had more lifting on that one, so it did kind of make it uneven. So I have some gel and I'm just going to very slowly push it into my cuticles. I like to look at my finger from all different angles just to make sure that it's even. But that's all I'm gonna do for the fill-in. It is really, really super easy and simple. The more and more you play with it. So I'm going to let you guys watch and I will be right back. Alright, so I'm just going to clean up around my cuticles, and then I am going to do a full cure for 60 seconds. Your cure time is really going to depend on the wattage of your lamp. I have a 72 watt lamp, so gel cures pretty quickly for me. If you have like a 48 watt lamp, you're probably going to want to do 90 seconds. If you don't have a lamp and you're interested in one and you want to try Builder Gel out, I will leave a link to mine down below. I get it off Amazon, and last time I checked it was less than 20 bucks. So I went ahead and filled in my left hand as well. Just going over, it's going to have a tacky layer to it. So you want to make sure you wipe that off with alcohol when you are completely done. And I'm just cleaning off around my pot of gel, because this stuff is a sticky mess. A friend of mine, Nancy, just showed me and a bunch of other girls during a chat that we did the other day a much better way of dealing with this. So if you get a pot of gel, just take like an X-Acto knife or whatever you have and just cut a hole in the center of the foil. That way you don't have all that gel issue. As far as my brush goes, I just wipe it on the back of my alcohol prep pad. I don't clean the gel off my brush. I actually like to leave some gel on it because it helps the brush kind of keep its shape. And I'm only using this brush for gel, and as long as it doesn't come in contact with my lamp, I'm not gonna have any issues with it. So now I'm gonna go in with my nail file. This file is from Triple D. This is my favorite file. Pretty much every single time I order from her, I order some of these files. I keep telling her, I'm like, can you sell these in like bulk packs of 10? They really are the best files, and I've tried so many different files and they are not all created equally. So I was so happy when she came out with these files. She also has buffing blocks, which are amazing too. For the most part, 98% of my filing with builder gel is done with a hand file, just because, like I said, builder gel is a lot softer than acrylic. It's going to file up a lot easier and quicker. And as much as I hate hand filing, I have more control with a hand file than I do an e-file when it comes to really taking down bulk and stuff like that. And yes, I did my builder gel on the thicker side. I like to do that because I would rather file it down to the thickness or the thinness that I want it to be. My biggest fear with always doing enhancements is not having enough product on there, and then when I go to file, I end up getting down to my natural nail, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to file these up. I like to do the surface of my nail first before I start working on shaping and all that. So I'm gonna let you guys watch for a little bit and I will be right back. Alright, so now that I have the surface of my nail pretty much nice and smooth and even, I'm going to move on to actually shaping it. Right now it looks super crazy. I'm going to do my best to make it level with my nails on my other hand. And for the tapered square, I find that it works a lot better if you hold your thumb straight up and file it that way. That way you're getting your nail super perfectly flat on the top. So I like to do that first, and then I will go in and start doing the sidewalls. As you can see, it's pretty thick, but I will file that down once I get it shaped the way that I want. So I'm just going to use my file, do it a little bit on an angle, because like I said, I'm going for a tapered square. I apologize for going out of frame a little bit. It can be challenging sometimes to film and be able to see what you're doing, so I apologize for going out of frame at times. So I'm pretty much just going to slowly file both sides. I'm kind of weird and always paranoid about them not being straight, so I will kind of count each like file stroke that I do and then try to do the same thing on the other side. But for now, I'm gonna let you guys watch. I'm just gonna put my file a little bit on an angle so that it creates that tapered shape, but I will let you guys watch and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my nail the shape that I want it. I went ahead and did my other nails off camera, and now I'm going to go in with this kind of teethy cuticle barrel bit. This is the only bit I use with the gel, and I'm just going to use it to clean up around my cuticle and my sidewall areas, as well as this does a really good job of sealing the builder gel in so that when it grows out, you're not going to have any lifting. Between this and the protein bond, I rarely get any lifting, as you saw in the beginning of the video. That little bit of lifting for 3 weeks really was not bad. So like I said, I'm going to use this bit to just clean up. This is going to pop off any gel that may have gotten too close to your skin or on your skin. This bit, as teethy as it looks, it does not hurt if you touch yourself with it, as long as you're going on a really low speed. So I just use this to clean up all of my nails. As you can see here, it's doing a really good job of just sealing everything in. If you don't have an e-file, you could definitely do this with a hand file. Bonafide Beauty makes these really nice files that really get around your cuticles really super well. I'm gonna do a video on all hand filing pretty soon, and I'm gonna use that to show you. So at this point, you could go ahead and get right into dipping, or do a gel polish mani, or apply your peel base. If you are a peel base user like me, seriously, try this little trick out. So I'm gonna apply a thin coat of gel base and cure it for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to apply a gel top coat and cure that for a minute. You could skip the gel base if you wanted to. I like having the extra little coat underneath the top coat. But do this and then put your peel base over top of the gel top coat. It is such a huge game changer. They pop off so easy, but at the same time, I can wear my mani for as long as I want, and when I'm ready to pop them off, they pop off super clean, not in pieces. It has been such a game changer. So like I said, going to cure this for 30 seconds. I asked on my Facebook group if you guys had any questions for builder gel. So I did get a couple. So one of them was nail prep for first time and fill-in. The nail prep is pretty much the same. If you are doing it for the first time, then you want to kind of buff up the surface of your nail. Don't over buff, just get the shine off of your natural nail. And then the fill-in, as you guys saw, I just file around that new growth with my bit. You can do all your prep with a hand file also. She also asked if dehydrator is needed. I think dehydrator should be used every time you're adding any kind of product to your nail. Dip powder, real acrylic, builder gel. It removes the oil off of your natural nails. So if you don't do that, you may, not everybody does, but if you have like a high oil content to your body, your nails are gonna pop off a lot quicker. So using dehydrator will, I'm gonna say hopefully prevent that, because I've heard some stories of people who use dehydrator and it still pops off. So everybody's body chemistry is different. So I say use the dehydrator. It's not gonna hurt anything. And she asked if you need to start using protein bond. You don't need to use the protein bond. I tell a lot of people to just start with their normal dehydrator, and then if they have issues, get the protein bond, because I know the protein bond, it is expensive for a little bottle, but to me it is worth it, and it does go a long way. I wasn't having any crazy lifting on my nails to where they were like popping off, but without the protein bond, I do get a lot more lifting than what you saw. So to me, the protein bond is worth it. She also asked if soaking off dip will ruin the builder gel. It won't ruin the builder gel if you really keep an eye on it. So if you're soaking off your dip, make sure you're pulling your hands out as soon as the dip is off, if that makes sense. and your builder gel should stay intact. I know for me, soaking off builder gel takes like an hour for each hand, and soaking off just dip I can usually get off in about 5 or 6 minutes on each hand. So I would say just keep an eye on it. I always recommend peel base, but that is a learning curve for everybody too. The way I apply my peel base may not work for somebody else. Another question was how thick to put the builder gel on. I know some people that just do one super thin layer just as a little protective coating. It really depends on your preference and how thick you like your nails, what your day-to-day activity is. If you're a little rougher on your hands, you may want to do a little bit thicker, but I like to always keep in mind that I'm dipping over mine. So you're gonna have the strength from the dip powder on top of that. But with that being said, I don't mind rocking my nails with just the builder gel. I've had days where I pop my nails off and I'll just leave them naked with the builder gel on for a couple days. So it's really personal preference on how thick you do the builder gel. So play around with it. Like I said, I like to do a little bit thicker on my nails and then file it down. So it all depends on, you know, what your preference is. The longer you have your nails, I think the little bit more builder gel you should do. But that is just my thoughts. If you have any other questions, or if you have questions about anything I did in this video, leave them in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram or ask question in my Facebook group. I'll leave a link to my Facebook group in the description box also, so you can find that and join that and come hang out with us. So I'm just gonna finish applying my gel top coat. I don't seal the edges of my nails with the gel top coat because I'm going to dip over them and then do more filing. So to me it doesn't make sense to cap the free edge. And now I'm gonna go in with my peel base, and I'm just going to apply a layer of peel base to my whole entire nail, and then I am ready to get to dipping. I do let this fully dry before I start dipping my nails into my dip powder. So it takes about 5-6 minutes. It does take a little bit longer to dry, I think, over top of the gel top coat, but they pop off super easy. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. As you can see, I filed them down. They're not super thick. I still have my nice apex there. So hopefully this was helpful for all of you guys who was interested in how I do my gel fill-ins. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in my next one. Bye guys.